honestly, that was a remarkably low amount of technical difficulty, all things considered. All right. Does anybody desperately want to do the opening narration? The recap page.
I had 5 hours of meeting today. I have
That's
no interest.
That's
Actually,
totally.
that was even a light day. It was supposed to be 6.
That's totally.
I
fine.
was working with my mom all day on moving.
No,
stuff.
you weren't. No, you weren't. She went out to lunch.
That's
You
true.
had a
She did go out to lunch.
reprieve.
I was busy doing all the stuff that I couldn't do while she was around, related to moving stuff.
So you don't need this, Dave, but I have to tell you, I picked up. I have long been a proponent. So non-game related, but whatever. I have long been a proponent of a fine book by the name of.
I gave it to her already.
Okay, but there's a new one, sort of
Oh
the
God.
same one, and kind of it's sort of the same one and sort of not. It's called The Life-Changing Manga of Tidying Up, and it is a 86 page, 186 page manga of the life-changing magic of tidying up.
Actually, the tidying up and stuff actually isn't the problem.
Oh,
It's other things that basically are, I can't do this. It's too much. It's
Right.
too complicated.
Right.
I'll just sit in the closet and in the dark and blame myself for having the most minor fender
being
bender
overwhelmed.
Yeah. I bought a copy for my nephew, my niece, and my daughter each. This manga.
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna have to step away. Hold on.
No problem. And it's broken up into it's really beautifully broken up into chapters that are like, here's this, like, you can read this chapter and then immediately, what did I do here? This is weird. But it's broken up into, like, there's a chapter of sort of story stuff happening, and it's a lovely little meet cute Japanese anime about girl meets guy kind of stuff going on. But the more relevant bit is, like, at the end of every chapter, there's like a little 1 page little summary thing. So it's broken up in such a way that you can, like, read a chapter of it and then immediately go and do it. And Kaylee was reading it while we were, like, watching a show or something like that. And she's like, I want to stop watching the show right now and go and dump all my clothes on the floor and start going through them. Like, I want to do it right now.
Cool.
Which I consider to be, success as far as that goes. It's pretty good. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of it anyway, but for some reason, did I lock Oh, I did lock everything. That's why. I don't want it to be too big. There. All right. Well, then I will do a summary, and I will do the summary from the point of view of Agent Waters.
I actually was going to volunteer, but you guys were talking about this.
If you'd like to, then you can absolutely do that. If you would like to do the summary, then you should do that.
So, we'll do this in character.
Okay.
Dear Agent Waters, this is my emancipation report. As I'm sure you know, I have to file these every so often. We recently saw you. Hey, surprise. Thought I'd let you know. You kind of put Jason on edge, I think, or I did. He's kind of an asshole, but please think kindly of him. He's our asshole. Please don't shoot us. Just while you're at it, that'd be great. It's good to see you, though. The fidget spinner, not really your thing. Um, don't don't try too hard. It's okay. We settled on a team name. Jason suggested the menagerie, and nobody had any better ideas. So we grumblingly went along with it. He's also the team leader, so nobody cares. We have contact information for you, and you have contact information for us. Good. Speaking of contact, I ran off to find somebody who had apparently gotten lost or disappeared or went offline. They started to do some kind of investigation into like some country that just came out of nowhere a couple years ago or whatever. You know what? Like I was learning geography back in like, 8th grade. They were talking about like after the Soviet Union broke up, like all these new countries, it's one of those things, I'm sure. So I don't care. But apparently they're pretty high tech. So I guess somebody's making money off them. So it matters. Anyway, I'll catch you up later. I think there's somebody that I have to go fight now. Bye.
Awesome. And then we get a couple of frames of the fight. The straps reaching out for, or the lightning reaching out for kind of a slightly flinching back Mercury and Ghost Girl with the wide eyes, and the straps of this weird, like fleshy.
Toilet paper man.
It's not toilet paper. You wish it was toilet paper.
Name's gonna stick.
Person, thing, and then getting hit by the car.
Works better than skin paper man.
And then the creature being struck by Otto and kind of half under the car, kind of tackled by the robot part as he switches to a robot. And Link kind of looming over him. For some reason, right in my head right now, I keep thinking of like Christian Bale doing the growly Batman voice. Where is she? No, but tell me where she's at, and
Martha.
The thing saying, "Oh God." Did I tell you the Aquaman joke about that? There's a bit like somebody
Martha?
Yeah, somebody made some joke about like some screen caps of the new movie, and it's like, I don't know if we need this guy. And Batman walks up to him and says, "What's your mother's name?" And he looks at him and goes, "Aqua Martha." And Batman says, "Welcome to the team." Anyway, so and then the fleshy thing saying, we've taken her where she's safe from being exposed to this taint by, the things that would come after her. And then Jason, and the last shot being, really that picture of Ghostheart, like right there, kind of looking up at Jason and Concord as they approach in one of the quill discs. Quisks? Quidditch? No, I don't know.
Quisp and Quake.
Quisp and Quake.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a fire truck pulling up in the cul-de-sac.
What did you do, Dave?
I didn't do anything.
Okay. So
So Catherine got up from one chair in order to make the other chair more appropriate and comfortable for the cat, and so the cat just took her chair instead.
Nice. Well done.
They're drawn to the
After
heat.
I moved her.
Very nice. All right. So, and as I said, this guy in this person in the thin suit, the thin person in the suit is kind of looking up there, and the hands up to the brow, and God, now I'm gonna have to look this guy up. I mean, the art is fine, but what I'm really going for is Jeffrey Combs, like a young Jeffrey Combs. Images.
He doesn't look right without ear fins.
Ear fins?
I saw him first in Deep Space Nine.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know he was in Deep Space Nine, so that's okay.
He played like 3 different roles in that show.
Well, it's partly because I never watched Deep Space Nine, but
Oh man.
yeah. I
Wow.
need to. I kind of just,
Babylon 5.
Okay, got it.
you know. Anyway, so he draws. He's got the fingers up to the brow, up to his temple, and then he draws his hand away, and you see, and you actually, Dave and Concord, hear him snap his fingers, which is remarkable because he's several 100 feet away, and you hear just clear and crisp through the night just that like snap sound. And the engines on the disc just stop. And this thing, which without the help of the hover jets or fans or whatever the hell is keeping it up, is really not terribly aerodynamic except as a frisbee, just starts sort of tumbling out of the air like a frisbee that's been dropped as opposed to thrown. What do you do?
I look at the paramedics vehicle that's now backing up to the neighboring house. I will the nanobots.
The junkyard house, or one of the nicer.
The one to the stage right of my folks' house or my mom's house. So
When you're facing
at
the
the very end
driveway.
of the cul-de-sac.
Oh, well,
So
the one closest to you.
anyway, well this is the one thing that I can do without actually running any risk because my nanobots are designed to like protect me from any sort of sudden impact thing that happens.
This
so
is actually what
if
they're
I go
supposed to do.
supposed to do, I not only don't have to think about it, I probably couldn't stop them from doing it without taking a tick on my doom track. So I will go tumbling down the street, presumably thrown out of the flying disc.
Yeah, just kind of.
But worst I will suffer from is inner ear disorientation from tumbling down the street, kind of completely covered by nanobots
Concord,
until
what do
I
you do?
come to a
I
stop.
will fly away, except I won't.
Will you?
I'll fly away.
Well, how do you get rid of what is the clearing conditions? To clear afraid, run from something difficult. I mean,
You could fly away from something difficult.
You can totally fly as long as you fly away. So yeah, what do you do then if you can't fly?
I believe I fall.
Are you doing anything about that?
Really wanting to fly, and then I guess he'll try to like catch himself in like when he's like, oh crap, I can't fly. He'll try to catch himself in one of his like energy constructs.
Like the bouncy ball? Are you gonna bounce house yourself?
I might bounce house myself.
Okay, I will think about that here in a second because I don't know. There isn't really a act under fire, and it isn't really unleash your powers. You might just do that. Actually, you can just do that. That's not really a thing I'm really worried about because I mean, defensively speaking, there isn't much going on there, but you kind of hit the embankment on this highway and kind of go ricocheting off into this whole white space up here is basically sort of residential stuff. So you're like bouncing off of trees. that sort of thing. You'll notice if you actually click on any of the icons, the little dots come up, and the red circle is meant to be it should show the number of conditions your character currently has.
It does.
In case that's relevant, certainly useful. Jason, you just sort of safely pancake onto the pavement there of the boulevard near the cemetery. And we're going to cut over to Link. Oh, and you can see as you kind of look up that this person is kind of striding down the hill and through some trees toward the street there, your general direction. Link
Towards us? Okay.
Yeah, towards you specifically. The Concord's kind of gone Super Ball somewhere. Yeah, I want what I want is a young Jeffrey Combs. Oh yes, from the Frighteners. God yes, so perfect, so perfect. That's exactly him. I cannot recommend him in the Frighteners enough. He is so good, and he's basically the model for one of my favorite NPCs in the Secret World.
He also voiced him.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't.
Yeah, the guy with the blue gloves.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, that's him voicing him.
Oh, that's so good. It makes me so happy.
It's especially
my efforts in medicine, they were curtailed. He's so great.
Yeah. Oh God, he's so good. Anyway, but yeah, that Jeffrey Combs is that's the guy I'm thinking of for this dude. And I'm going to be as much. I should have rewatched The Frighteners. It's hardly a punishment for me. Anyway, we're going to cut to Link real quick, since he is off the map and or he's not immediately available. So I still have a pending action for Rawhide.
I did a condition, and then they get to do a move. Yeah,
They get to do a thing, and I was looking them up too. This is poetic. What they're gonna do here. So the Otto is kind of on top of Rawhide, and you're kind of looking down on it and looking down toward them as they're like kind of up underneath the thing there, and the person being whatever, you can actually see through the black mask like blue human eyes through the eye holes of this sort of mask thing over it, and it grows preternaturally still for a moment, and then the tentacles, it very clearly is flesh. Now that you're close enough to see, although it's leathery, dried flesh, whips out, and you're immediately reminded, honestly, of your own cables. And most of them are black. Otto gets his hands on most of them. You move out of a few, but one of them gets you around the ankle and pulls. And as it's pulling you toward it, it sinks through the pavement, or you realize into the shadow underneath Otto that's in the pavement, cast by his large body, and pulls you in through it, through this thing. And you have this rather chilling, and I'm clicking on the wrong screen because I'm terrible. You have this chilling moment of passing through. You know what? I'm going to give you a mental flash of what you sort of see in this passageway that you pass through. And it is, here's a flash for you. I'm just going to show you for a moment if I can find it. Where should be?
no matter what you show me, I'm still going to see Toilet Paper Man. Thank you, Catherine.
This is what you see kind of breathing in the walls that you pass through the space. That
You're
you pass through.
welcome.
Oh, look, barnacles.
I think actually the thing about Toilet Paper Man is probably a much better alternative.
And it's very cold. It's you even through the suit, and in fact, really ignoring the suit. You feel this just bone-chilling cold in this space and then suddenly you emerge into this bright light. It's not actually that bright. It's just not the darkness that you were in. So, boom. And you kind of burst, nobody's really there to see it, I guess, but you kind of emerge from shadows beneath the trees right there. And we're going to put Rawhide there as well.
I'm not seeing your markers.
They're on the extreme top right.
Ah, right. Okay. Thank
Are
you.
they?
Oh, no?
Yeah, I have my map blown up, so it was off to the
Oh.
right.
Yeah, you guys
I
should.
still,
Can
I
you?
still don't see it.
You see where I'm pinging?
Oh, yeah, I just saw your pinging. Oh, okay, there.
Yeah.
So kind of near Ghostheart and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rawhide specifically tried to get as close to Ghostheart as possible because it took the condition hopeless, and it needed some reassurance. So it went to
Yeah, Ragman. That's good analogy.
Ragman.
Yeah, Ragman.
What do I recognize that name?
Well, he was on the Flash apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he was on
Or Arrow.
Arrow. He was in Arrow. You're right.
Arrow. Yeah.
Kind of Ragman. Yeah, sure. I'll buy that. I'm going for Flash as opposed to Cloth, but yeah, certainly. I won't get them over there.
He will always and forever be Toilet Paper Man.
No.
Is this dorky gimmick villain, or is this like messianic apocalyptic cult leader Ragman?
Option 2. In this case, neither, but still option 2. And you'll also see here, I managed to sort of cobble together the effect, sort of the basic idea of where the lightning's at. Although right now it's not like affecting that whole area, but that's about the range that it crackles out when it wants to on the armor dude over here. Can you guys see the little aura?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
He kind of blends with the trees.
It does a bit,
Yeah.
but I could change it, but I want it to be yellow since the lightning is yellow. So
It's because he's got a transparent background. He doesn't stand out.
yeah, he's do what I can. But all right, so Link, what do you do?
Hey, Doyce.
Yes.
None of us can see the aura unless you check the box for view.
Okay, hang on. I will do that. Wait, I checked the box for what?
View. It's on the second, tab.
Oh, player permissions can see. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's funny. Everybody can edit it, but nobody can see it. That's about the dumbest thing.
No. The checks are whether or not you can or not.
Right.
Check
so
is not.
check is not. So C is not checked. You should be able to see the aura.
That's weird.
Can you wait? If I change it to, I don't know. How about a bright pink? Can you see it then?
No.
Nope.
Huh. Hang on.
I thought the yellow bits were the aura, so that's why we said yes.
What about now?
Nope.
Can you
What?
see me
No.
now?
That's
Can you see me
disappointing.
now?
Oh wait, hang on. How about now?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so-
There it is.
Woohoo!
Mike lied. The checkbox is actually I can see it,
Okay.
which is weird because yeah, all the players can edit the auras, but nobody can see them. So what? Anyway, so there. Now we're back to a yellow little field effect around the thing. Okay, so Link, you got yanked through the shadow. What do you do?
I'm gonna tell Otto to get over here, and I'm going to look around and see. I assume that these are trees and whatnot.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I'm going to use some grapples to attach to trees and slingshot myself towards this jerk off and see if I can body check him.
Awesome. Otto's like, right, on my way. Where are you? Right. I can home in on
Blake
you.
doesn't have time to answer questions like that. He's busy.
He's talking to himself. He's like, where are you? Never mind. I can home in on your. Okay. So how? Never mind. Right.
So is the rawhide person still there after
Yes.
Link
right
gets
there.
pulled through?
Yep, it came through
Okay,
first
so
and kind of pulled him through. I don't know that you
right.
can necessarily see him from where you are because A, it's shadowy. That's the whole point. And
No,
B, there's kind
that's
of a tree in the way. But yeah, it's also there for sure.
well. I was thinking in terms of Link is turning away from Rawhide guy and going after the guy with the big, brilliant, flickering aura.
No.
Oh no, I'm going after Rawhide.
Yeah, Link is fastening.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, Link is fastening a couple of tethers onto the tree and slingshotting himself straight at Rawhide. Why don't do you
Just to give him a little bit of extra velocity.
directly engage? Sounds like a directly engage.
13.
Oh,
Hit.
did you say 17?
I can't
13.
possibly roll 17.
I know.
No, 13.
13. That's still
So
holy cats, man.
directly engage, I'll take resist or avoid blows, and I will take impress, surprise, or frighten.
All right. I'm going to go with surprise because surprise or frighten them or people around them. Is that like? Remind me which one that is.
It says impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay, I'm going to have you.
I assume that means, like, if you want to interpret that vaguely, you can be like, yeah, Rawhide's allies are here, and see him just get body checked, or
Well,
like, maybe we should deal with the guy, but that's up to you.
Also, did not exactly like know he was coming. Suddenly is here, and also you're here, and kind of in the way. So you kind of slam both of you, like kind of a rolling tumble. You kind of knock him flat, and then roll past, turning your body as you sort of somersault past, so you're still facing him and kind of skidding to that 3-point stop. Is that
right?
Am I explaining it well enough to give you the anime pictures?
Oh yeah.
All right. And hang on, so I gotta grab a pencil here so I can mark off. I'm going to optimistically mark these conditions off in pencil. Super optimistically.
That's so cute.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know what? I'll mark afraid because that seems like the kind of thing. I mean, I'm very tempted to use the response of lash out without thought, but because it just seems so appropriate. But honestly, I'm not going to do that. So you actually see like one of its arms is hanging like weirdly limply, like just straight down, like a dislocated shoulder kind of deal. And there's a bit of maybe blood as soon as it hits the as soon as it hits it's definitely blood, but as soon as it hits the white, well, I use the term white advisedly, of the jacket that it's wearing, it looks black in the sort of street lights that are visible in this area, that kind of thing. So some kind of damage. The mask is kind of dented in, and it is going to from where it's at, it's going to leap at the trees kind of over in this area here, and into the shadows, looking for another exit, another way away, because it would just like to be very far away from this crazy man in the power armor. What do you do? And you, Jason, as this guy is approaching here, you hear this crash, sort of that. I don't know if you would have heard it. Yeah, you've heard it enough. You hear a sound that you haven't even really realized that you've categorized as the sound of Link's armor. Sort of a whirring, retracting kind of sound, possibly some cursing, in some unconscious cursing, and you see this person who's approaching you, kind of turn and like
turn his attention
and flinch and kind of go, Gah! Like not so much a jump scare, but just calmly walking down the hill, and suddenly there's this melee going on like 10-15 feet away from him. Definitely, kind of flinches back from that and raises his hands. What do you? And you're far enough away that his attention is kind of turned toward him, and you see him raise his hands in that direction. What do you do?
How far away is he from me?
30, 40 feet, I'm going to say.
Is it a threatening gesture? Like these are not together?
More like I wish you could see my hands. Like if you were drawing his hands upward with his palms down, drawing his hands upward with letting his fingers afterwards, almost like a puppeteering kind of gesture, or something like that, or waving your hands in fog kind of a thing.
So he's within range of a nanobot fire hose.
If you want him to be, yeah. I mean, you might want to close the distance, but you can certainly move fairly quickly. So.
Well, I will move towards him, but my main thing is while his attention is distracted, and he's in the middle of making something that I can only assume is a combat gesture, I definitely want to blast him.
Okay.
Faster than I can actually reach him, kind of leaping and punching. So,
Are you looking to knock him flat, or are you trying to just stop him for whatever he's distract him from what he was trying to do to Link, or what are you doing there?
Knock him flat.
Oh, he's aiming it at Link. I thought he was aiming at Toilet Paper Man.
No, he's aiming to Link.
Although that's interesting that you thought that. I like that you thought that, but no, he's aiming something. He's aiming something in that general direction. So yeah.
All right. That's my question. Was it threatening?
Dude has attacked me, knocked down the disc, and potentially hurt Adam.
He's threatening. He's threatening someone for sure.
I'm definitely ready to slap him down if his attention is turned away. So I will directly engage.
Okay, that sounds good. Go ahead and roll danger then. Roll your danger.
Danger is our business.
Maybe I should actually be over where that's happening. Ooh, danger is your business. All right.
And brother, business is booming.
So, when you directly engage a threat on a 10 plus, pick 2 from the list. I think one of them should.
I don't have my list on me, so.
Okay, so your options, and one of them should, I think, definitely be the first one: resist or avoid their counter blows. Take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. You may choose 2. I would highly suggest, just based on the fiction, resisting or avoiding their blows, since you're in a situation here where you are not going to take a hit in return. But you still have one to choose from. Take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I will resist or avoid their blows and frighten the opposition.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Because I want him suddenly very uncertain that this grand plan of theirs is going to be effective.
Okay. So the nanites, kind of the cloud sprays out there, and at the last second before they really impact with that fire hose thing, that he gestures, and he kind of whirls and his eyes go wide, and he gestures and he does something very complex with his fingers, but so it slows them, but they kind of curl around that and glom onto him, and still kind of throw him, they sort of almost grab him and throw him down as opposed to knock him down.
Sort of grappling, yeah.
Yeah, and but the real thing is when they come onto him, his eyes you thought they were wide before, but they just go into dinner plates, and he's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Never touch me!" And he's flailing around and grabbing and grabbing and
That's a bad thing to say to a swarm of nanobots.
well, and the thing is, he's having some effect because he's grabbing at these things with his gloved hands and he's pulling at them, and they're coming away from him, like they're coming, they're on him, and he's grabbing onto them and he's pulling. It's as though he's been like wrapped up in like a black garbage bag, and he's tearing strips of these things off of him and whipping them away, and they're staying coherent in these glumps that he's tearing off when they really shouldn't be. So in some way, shape, or form, he's affecting them so that they're slowing their ability to shift or whatever. So he's kind of tearing them away. You're not feeling any blowback pain or anything like that, but it's definitely he's having some kind of effect and some interaction. You're definitely getting like an energy signature feedback from this thing that is not stuff that you've run into very often in the past. Not never, but certainly never since you've run into the nanobots really have you run into something precisely like this. If you had to say, it reminds you more of, I wouldn't even say like Ghost Girl, because it's not really like that, but it's closer to that quadrant than any other energy signature you run into. Link, you see, you hear this screaming, the blast and stuff, and so you have Rawhide like pulling itself into the shadows, almost dragging itself into the shadows quickly, but mostly dragging itself across the thing. And at the same time, you hear this cry and this thing going on, and you see this other individual kind of half on the ground and tearing at what looks like Jason's nanites just off to your right here, and clearly also vulnerable. What do you do?
Is it possible to grapple Rawhide and throw him into Ghostheart as a single action?
Yes. I mean, you'd be attacking Rawhide. I mean, yeah, I would actually call that a directly engage on Ghostheart with sort of the intent, or not Ghostheart, of Rawhide with the intent of taking something from him, which is to say his escape route.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, so that's what we're aiming for there. You got to kind of position yourself sort of between them to get the angle that you want, because you don't, I mean, as far as I know, these cables don't have like a musculature to them.
They don't, but the grappling heads themselves actually do have rockets. But what I also can do is I have 6 lines. I can drag myself to a tree and use another tree as like a point of leverage.
Sure. Okay. I'm just thinking of yourself as being sort of the fulcrum for a lot of this, so getting somewhere kind of between them, sort of necessary to whip him the right direction, I think. Does that make sense? Or are you seeing
Totally.
something else? Okay. That's good for me. All right. So, all right. God, another full hit. All right. So, take something from him. What else are you looking for?
Resist or avoid.
Okay. Nice. So you duck and whip him. You keep him from escaping, but you're not quite able to pile him on top of Ghostheart, although they are now very, very close to one another. I'm just going to turn things here. You kind of get
well.
there.
Then I think this is a good opportunity for Jason and/or Concord to seal the deal.
All right. Meanwhile, not so very far away. Who was the last person who got hit with the light? It was Ghost Girl, wasn't it? She got hit with the lightning to defend Harry. Is that right? I feel like that was the last thing. Like Harry was helping Ghost Girl,
so.
and then
I thought that I pushed him down then while he was busy lightninging Ghost Girl.
That's right. She was hitting Ghost Girl, and then you had done that to kind of defend things. So he's
so
kind of
we did reciprocating attacks
rescues
to defend.
Yeah, which is always fun. All right, so you kind of hit this thing and knocked him back a couple of steps. So you're kind of up here a little bit, and The armor takes a couple steps back, and you see it kind of focus. The face plate sort of turns towards you, Harry, and then the armor explodes. It doesn't explode with an explosive blast, but it like the pieces all just come apart. Arm plates, shoulder plates, the helmet, the chest plate, all just kind of blast in various directions. The lightning fades away, or follows along, sort of trailing the various pieces of armor as they kind of whip out into the surrounding trees and headstones.
Oh, good. It's a possessed piece of armor.
And they're not like flying and landing. They're zipping about. What do you do, Harry? This is a question for Mercury. Dave, for the record, I love pacing around the room while I'm doing this. I love these headphones so much. So awesome.
Yes.
Already at a standing desk. Now I know true freedom.
At Kaiser, they actually have some video conference rooms that have walking desks. So the treadmill attached to a standing desk kind of thing, and a video conference room is pretty cool.
That's awesome. So this guy kind of flies back and I don't want to say dissipates because that's not right, but discorporates. Harry, what do you do?
Look to see if any of the pieces are kind of reforming.
Assess. You know what? Why don't you give me a superior roll? That's assessing the situation to see what's going on. I think.
Yeah.
Not through. Oh. All right. So hey, mark some XP. Well done, you. Oh, Link. I think since you were in character, you get to pick both of those things from the beginning.
Yeah, I cleared a condition, and I'm looking at labels as well.
Okay. All right, because it lets you rearrange labels, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So. Assess the situation. All right. So you're trying to track all of the pieces of armor,
but apparently I suck.
Well, no, it's just there's so many of them, and you actually start to grasp the pattern that you realize that there's actually a pattern to it, but you really can't see it from the ground level. If you were looking down at it, you'd be able to see the whole thing. And it's sort of, it almost not paralyzes, but kind of almost freezes you in place a little bit when you start to grasp the pattern of it. It's almost like a biofeedback loop to understand anything. You actually hear Ghost Girl, or you imagine, and Ghost Girl, you don't actually say this, but you hear Charlotte say, "Don't look at it," like yelling, but it's echoing like it's coming from far away. Or from somewhere else. And then all the armor pieces stop, and and they're all in kind of like a pattern around you about 10 or 15 feet away, and then they all come straight at you and like slap onto your body. And with it, all the electricity.
Of course.
So I'm going to ask you to, well, let me see. Let me look at Harry for a second. Where's Mercury?
Hidden in a suit of armor, apparently.
Hidden in a suit of armor. Who? I'm gonna mark afraid on you because this is creepy and freaky and crazy as a condition. And I have a move for you to roll. Give me one moment, please. Where are we at here? Oh. There we go. Mm-hmm. So I got to get this where I can share it with Catherine.
I'm very concerned.
Concern. All right, Catherine, in the second tab up there, like where the character sheets and stuff are, you should see a little handout thing down there at the bottom with like the orange tag. That's the title of it is When Something Attempts to Control or Manipulate Your Mind. Do you see that? It should be
Rather
down,
specific.
it should be down near the bottom.
Really? Yep. Really, you're making me roll superior again?
I'm sorry, I didn't. It was not intentional, but nothing else really. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to say superior.
What? But I'm defending my mind.
Yes, but this is not so much a defense thing as it is, well, defending. What do you? No, savior is only for when you're protecting other people. It doesn't count for you. Superior is the strength of
I
your own
think
brain.
it really should.
I think it really should too. No, sorry. But did you? Okay. I'm looking at these various. I got to catch up on these images. Can you roll for me?
Yeah.
I love the picture of all the That's a good picture, Dave. I like that. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, very nice. Margie. Sorry. Ghost Girl. You see this happen. You see this armor like slap onto him. And the lightning sort of coil around his body and lock him into this thing. You can spend a team to help, and I will eventually get to this thing where we like group up as a team and face this thing together, but I'm waiting until everybody gets a chance to act before Jason does something. Do you want to help? Because you could spend a team and actually push that 9 to a 10.
Trying to figure out how to grab one of these. I was going to put it on top of his sorry face.
Grab one of what?
The team markers.
Oh, the team markers? All right. Oh, nice. Let it go. There you go. Oh, you have it in your... Now you have it.
I'm going to put it somewhere.
You click on the little explodey thing, and then you... I don't know. It's going to let me... Here, I'll put one on there.
It's just going to stick it on top of his ugly face.
Ah, it's so big.
I hope you're talking about the bad guy.
Yeah. There. I'll put it on top of his ugly face. Does that make you happy?
Sure.
No.
Would you like me to? All right. tell me what you're doing to help him, because this armor is trying to like worm its way into his mind. What are you doing?
Scare him to death. Scare him to death.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Just kill him.
Not
Kill him.
helping.
He can defend if he's dead.
Bring him over to your side of the world.
That sounds like Link. I'll beat it out of him. Sorry.
That much more often than you'd like to know, but
So what I would like to do is somehow try and disengage the electricity. Somehow try and prevent it from contacting with the armor.
Well, the electricity is already coiled around Harry's body, and the armor is sort of on him. You can feel with your spiritual senses that the spirit within the armor is trying to, by encasing him, worm its way into Harry's mind.
Yeah.
So, what do you do that? I mean, he's fighting it. How can you help? Or how do you help, I should say?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm sort of thinking of the stop, drop, and roll equivalent of disrupting. In other words, trying to remove the physical contact, trying to mentally put myself between Harry and the armor.
Well,
counter possession.
Yeah, counter possession. You could just jump into Harry's body and help him push it out. I mean, coexist in his like same physical space and help push it out.
Ew.
What?
I don't know if I'm ready for this stage in our relationship.
That's one option. You could also blast him with sound to try to like disrupt the armor.
That's gonna be
Banshee
Mercury.
will.
Is it just
Not
Harry's fate to get
helping.
blasted by sound all the time?
Healing scream. No. I'm suddenly reminded of that, like the Avatar, the bit where their whole story is being retold by those terrible actors.
Yes.
And the gigantic man playing Toph explains that he can see by using sonic abilities, and then just screams for 10 seconds. Ah! Anyway.
Of course, Toph loves it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Am I a girl?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, Jason would know what that's like.
Yes. The irony is that Toph was originally supposed to be a great, big, strong-looking guy, and they changed the character during the creation process. So the fact that he's played in the players by the island players as this big, strong guy is very meta.
There's no way that Toph would have been better as a guy. She's
Oh no,
perfect.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
It's really funny that they actually ended up doing that as part of it.
Absolutely. So which are we
so
what are we doing here? I think you should go for possessing Harry's body.
Well, yeah, of course you do. You're a GM. You want this to go horribly wrong. Is it very
Or is it
dark?
horribly right?
But already know it's going to work. You're just helping him get to a 10. This is guaranteed success by just see, look at that. Look how nicely it looks on the map.
No, it doesn't. I want the bad guy in the back and us smothering him. No, okay, so I had a third option,
Yes.
but well, I'm assuming it's really dark and shadowy inside the armor.
Well, it's dark and shadowy inside Harry. Yeah. I mean, if you're inside the armor, you're inside Harry. That is now.
Okay, there is no gap.
No, it's on him. He's wearing it, much against his will.
Okay, I will help Harry fight his battle. And close my eyes.
Ew, cooties.
Whoops.
Exactly.
Glom. All right. So, having put that text out there, and I now actually can't select it. That's great. All right. So you dive into, or just go into Harry. Yeah. And just help him push that armor out and away.
Yeah, I'm really focusing on the armor, not on Harry.
Having just watched
Focusing outward.
Okay. Has anyone? Okay. Is anyone?
Having just reread the Asgard series of.
Okay.
Anyways.
For those of you who I know have watched Killjoys, have you watched season 2 of Killjoys?
Yes.
Okay. The bit where Davin is in the like tub of green goo and shouts no, and all of the goo like blasts out into away from out of the and leaves him in a dry tub.
Yeah.
That's basically the ectoplasmic version of what happens. The armor just blasts off, the lightning sort of trailing after it, and yeah, you are unaffected. You are Harry. You are unaffected by the intended purpose. Let me clarify. You're unaffected by the intended purpose of this armor's possessive attack. Possessive assault. You are deeply affected by the fact that there's a dead girl inside you, or ghost girl inside you. Like, ugh. So.
Oh no! It's a girl!
Well, I don't know about that part. It's just plain creepy. And she's not like she's inside your thoughts and dreams and stuff. It's the very you'd always wondered what it would feel like in playing various video games, what it would feel like to actually clip through someone, and now you know, and it's a bad answer.
Maybe this will help me with phasing since now like having something go through me.
Sure.
Way to put a positive spin on it.
I was gonna say glass half full. Go ahead. That's fine. I
mean that level.
Jason.
Yes.
So before you say anything that you do, you have realized that everyone is basically here. Between the very shoutings, calm stuff, Harry saying something like "Good," Charlotte apologizing, so on and so forth. You realize that everyone is here. It occurs to you at this point that this is the point in time
this is the point in time I need to be a leader.
When Rusty would have started telling people what to do.
Rusty would have started giving orders as to best how to run the battle. Absolutely. Yes. So instead of doing something effective against Ghostheart, which I could probably do at this point.
Instead of doing something effective, I'm going to talk.
Yes, Jason, we know what to do. Thank you very much.
Tell you because I've got
get
tactical.
Get off the comms and be helpful.
Actually, the stuff that's going on over there at the lightning person, I don't know that I've got visibility to.
You don't have visibility. You don't have visibility, but you do hear them shouting. I mean, Harry's on comms, and you're seeing the light show through the trees. The spooky light show of the, various kinds of, lightning and whatnot. So you do know, and you can tell that they're within earshot and that sort of thing. So, when you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to your team pool. I'm just going to tally things up here. If the leader has influence over every other teammate,
we picked the wrong leader.
Add another point to the team. Jason, do you have influence over every other teammate?
I do not.
I didn't think so. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. Jason, we won't start with Jason. Harry, what's your purpose in this fight?
Get Ghost Girl out of me.
What was your purpose in the fight when you first showed up? Let me put that slightly differently.
Help Ghost Girl.
Ghost Girl.
She got on the comms and was going, "Hey."
Yeah. Ultimately, your deal is sort of defending Ghost Girl. It's not really about defeating these guys or anything. Ghost Girl, what's your purpose here? Like, having decided to fight, what's your purpose?
My purpose is to keep everybody safe.
By everybody, are you talking like the people in the cemetery that are apparently being messed with these guys, or who's everybody? Your team?
Well, my initial part was to try and draw them away from, the area of the cemetery that they were destroying. So
Right.
my first intent was to protect the cemetery. So
Which is kind of up here, or actually, I'm going to put it right here. Bang. So it's basically, protecting others. Okay, I can buy that. Concord, I mean, you're going to be, I swear you're going to act next, but what's your goal here, having seen kind of what's going on?
Well, he came out here to protect Ghost Girl.
We're close. We're coming close. Jason, what's your goal here with this fight?
Well, absolutely. We were rushing out here to save Ghost Girl.
Link, what's your purpose in this fight?
Find and protect Power Pony.
Absolutely. All right. Well spotted. So if everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. No.
But no, all of our purposes are to like protect.
No, that's not Link's purpose. It's not protected. It's not protection. It's find. He wants to beat answers out of these people, or not beat, but possibly beat.
Find and protect.
No.
Power Pony.
That's literally what I said. Is find and protect. You're the judge of whether that applies, but those are the words that I said.
My thinking, and I'm not trying to be a cuss about it, but my thinking is that if it came right down to it and everybody else was sort of huddling up to protect one another in this thing, Link would still be trying to get the answer that he needs. So he's working toward a different purpose.
That's all accurate.
Okay. I think this is different. I think it's different enough that it warrants it, not exactly working in complete unison to that. Because if you guys, it's like, let's just turtle up and let these guys get out of here and we can get answers later. That's not going to work for Link. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove it. Remove a team.
Power of not helping.
Was that Link saying mistrusting the leader of the team at this point in time? Okay. All right. Does anybody? I don't think it matters. Let's not ask. I think it's enough. I think Link has done enough. If your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team. I don't. No, you guys didn't get ambushed. You knew there was something going on and you came here with the intent to engage in something to help out Ghost Girl. I don't think you guys are like having pizza and suddenly getting jumped by sentinels. You're well prepared enough, so there's no point there. So net, that's a team up. You guys started with a pile of extra team points though, so it's not actually that terrible. So you're hardly hurting with five team in the pool at this point, especially having already spent one. So, Jason, what do you do? Having taken stock of taken stock of the immediate situation, what do you do? Link has thrown this thing, this ragman toilet paper rawhide.
So the logical thing for me to do would be to try to envelop the two of them in some sort of nanobot morass, bind them together, get one in the other's way, basically try to entangle them all together. But that's not what Rusty would do. I mean, Rusty, aside from finding a grassy knoll to snipe from, he had this story about this. I never quite
what a strange
gathered
Freudian
what the purpose was.
What a strange Freudian slip example that you just gave there, by the way.
So I think probably what I need to do is, Link, see if you can get the two of them tangled together. Does anybody have eyes on Ghost Girl? Harry, what's your status? Adam, are you on your feet?
That is my status.
Really? Really?
That way too if you had someone just suddenly go through you.
Technically, that's happened to Ghost Girl like a lot. So
I was gonna say, welcome to my life, boy.
Mean?
Concord, you hear him like, Adam, are you on your? Is it Concord? Concord, are you on your feet? Concord, what do you do? You've come to rest, inside, or kind of up against like a backyard playset. Having knocked down the back fence.
Aw.
This is why we can't have nice things.
It wasn't a particularly high fence. What do you do?
Can I try to prop the fence back up and then like
You can do that with like a little glowing hand, kind of like
just like really quickly like prop it back up, and then
Sorry.
since I can't fly, I guess I'm going to vault myself over to where all the action is happening.
And as a trick, I think it actually looks a little bit like we're sticking with the big hands thing. It kind of looks a little bit like kind of what like Link does with his cables, just because, that seems kind of effective. So you sort of fling yourself through the air. Bonk. We'll do that.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I kind of saw it more.
Tree.
I was about to say I kind of saw it more like, just like Adam does really simple constructs, so he would just like make a pillar under himself and just have it grow up and over
really
the highway
in like a slight angle. Just whoosh. I like it.
Zoop.
That's great. I like that. That's fun. It's actually probably something that after painstaking effort and several tutorial videos, he was able to build in Minecraft as like a little like a vault thing that you can build for your guys to like get from floor to floor. And it's like that'd be a really cool thing to do for real, and then you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're just gonna 1 second. Oops, no. Just gonna make him go away for a second. Link, what do you do?
Did I figure out a couple of things? Did I figure out that Rawhide can apparently travel via shadow? And did I figure out that Ghostheart can apparently shut off technology?
I don't. You weren't there when he shut off the hovercraft.
I thought I saw him deflect Jason's nanobots, though.
No, he didn't deflect them. He was able to interact with them in kind of a grab and tear kind of way, but that could have been some sort of electrical field, something that slowed them down, chemical. There's a lot of
fair enough.
Yeah.
So how about Rawhide at least?
Yeah, Rawhide. You've definitely been able to figure out that they. Yeah, it teleported you somewhere by dragging you through like one shadow to the next, which is definitely similar to Ghost Girl's thing, which all kind of follows. So yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get over there real fast. I'm gonna see if I can get them tied up out in some nice sunny central area between the trees.
Well, it's nighttime, but you can definitely get them away from
It'll eventually be sunny.
This is
not sunny, but like well lit.
This is a well lit. Certainly, it's away from the trees where the deeper shadows are at, and it seems to desire that as much as anything. Okay. I think it's probably still directly engage. They're not. Now, just to be Rawhide didn't exactly. God dang, man, your dice. Holy cats.
When Link goes to town, Link goes to town. That's just how he rolls.
Apparently. Holy God. All right, so.
That's how he rolls?
That's how he rolls. He's not rolling at this point in time.
I am.
Go home.
Where is... All right, so what's this look like? Because you're kind of wading into both these things, and you didn't hit Ghostheart with Rawhide, so they're both kind of there. You're coming at them quickly, and what does this tangling look like?
I think I'm going to tie Ghostheart up with Rawhide's tendrils, and then just keep a grip on them both.
So you're grabbing like onto the tendrils and kind of wrapping them around around Ghostheart?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you have two options. I mean, I can see if you, depending on how you want to narrate this, I can see resisting or avoiding blows. I can also see taking some shots because of so much happening here as they're trying to fight back and everything from that. So, what do you think? I'm fine with whatever.
Resist or avoid and take something seems indicated. So yeah.
Take something. Yeah, certainly mobility. Okay, so Rawhide's main mistake is that it tries to get away from you, because it doesn't. It's been trying to get away now for a little bit, so it doesn't, rather than really engaging it, it tries to sort of flinch back, and you're able to get a hold of some of the straps and sort of jump over Ghostheart and drag Rawhide toward him, like that. And oh no, did that wrong. Grabbed the wrong person. And you kind of go over him a little bit and kind of wrapping the thing in. So it's a hot mess. Ghostheart, for his money, is now. Who are you doing the actual? I don't think you're hitting any of them hard. But like, I don't think you're necessarily hitting hard enough to do damage to both of them. You're taking from Ghostheart the mobility. You can be doing the damage to him too if you are like wrapping this around to damaging degrees. You could be damaging, but who do you think probably takes the condition?
I think they could take like emotional based conditions in this game.
Sure.
Whether or not they actually get physically damaged.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm fine with that too. I said really,
I mean, as long as they're immobilized, I don't care about beating them up. So
right.
that part I can take it or leave.
I'm actually okay with I'm actually okay with Ghostheart because once again, as you wrap these fleshy straps around him, he starts screaming, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't never touch me! Oh God!" And is just freaking out about this grody flesh on flesh, and it's grody flesh on flesh contact as you're doing this thing. So
he's a bigger baby than Mercury.
Why?
And unless this is like a tactically sensitive situation, where we have to move at any moment, Link's going to be muttering to himself as he does this, like, you could have done this the easy way, but no, you had to act like a big tough guy. That's me. You should have answered my question the first time.
And he's like ribbing this thing. Okay. In reaction to taking that, so Ghost. So there's a couple of seconds of struggling and screaming, and and
I've still got a grip on them both as well. Like if they try to take off.
Well, yeah, you've wrapped up him. You're kind of holding on to the stuff and have wrapped him up in that, and he finally he basically screams, almost shrieks, "Be gone!" And the rawhide and the straps, really, the whole creature basically just sort of apparates into smoke, and sort of spirals. The smoke itself kind of spirals down in the ground. There's a shrieking, kind of a shrill sort of teapot kind of shrieking as it pulls down in the thing. And the other guy kind of goes down on one knee there for a second, like sucking in great lungfuls of air. You're left holding, like, had you been like fiercely holding these straps, you're left just holding smoke. Special effects wise, it looks like a Nightcrawler, like Bamfing, but you got the very distinct impression that it wasn't happy with what happened to it. Like that was painful, whatever was just done to it.
Wah.
Ghost Girl, you feel very strongly like a kind of psychic, spiritual shockwave, kind of. You didn't think anything you'd ever describe anything as chilling, but it really does feel like that kind of flow over the hill, through the cemetery when this thing happens. You hear that begone sound, and when he says it, it's like the snap of the fingers. It kind of is everywhere very clearly, at the same time. What do you do? I am almost afraid to click on this YouTube link that Catherine has provided.
Don't let your repeated.
Oh, thank you so much. That's such a great song. Anyway. Mike, you need to watch that video later.
Well, for one thing, I'm so out of Mercury, and
all right, we'll just
moving over to the others. I mean, there's nothing here, right?
As near as you can tell, the armor is not immediately reforming. You don't see, what's going on there.
Okay, so and now over here we don't have Toilet Paper Man.
You don't have. Yeah, we can actually move that, and we will.
But I would have felt the
whatever the
exorcism of him, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that backblast was powerful. You've never really felt anything like that before, or, well, in a weird way, it makes you feel like there's a certain kind of deja vu. There is kind of a deja vu feeling to it, but you're not. You can't put your finger on why it seems familiar.
Okay.
To be revealed at a later date.
Could be.
Because I can't remember my creation?
Could be. Could very well be. I mean.
Unmaking?
You're making or yeah, but yeah, the.
I'm sorry, are you related to Toilet Paper Man?
Hope not.
No. Who knows? Concord, what do you do? The big creepy strappy thing just like did a ghost or turned into a cloud of vapor and got sucked into the ground. Other creepy skinny dudes there on the ground, like on his knees, on one knee.
Well, at this point, do we just wrangle him up and haul him off?
You could wait for further direction from Jason.
Or maybe Jason wants to actually get his butt in gear and do something.
I'm going to ask Concord because Concord hasn't done anything. Hasn't been able to do anything yet.
Jason's waiting to see how everybody's following orders, so go ahead and have everyone else take initiative on him.
Link totally did what you asked him to do.
Link did. I mean, he's going to get a gold star.
I'm sorry. What did you ask Link to do?
tie up those people or tangle them up or something, which he did, just not how I was personally envisioning it, although it was still equally as effective. So go Link.
Yeah.
Concord.
Yeah. Concord's gonna look over at Jason and then point over at the guy on the ground. Look, I'm waiting for direction.
Lovely. In this gap of him looking for direction and Jason trying to think of what to tell him to do, I'm going to have the guy do something because it seems like the perfect thing to do with this.
At the very least, get away. Does he still have any of the nanobots wrapped around him, or has he managed to shed those?
Peel them off.
As freaky as he is about between the various impacts and everything like that, and the effect, I think they would have like drawn back from him.
Sure.
And you're getting close, so that unless you're telling them actively to do something, they're going to pull back to you.
They'll flow back to me.
Sure.
The only thing attracted to you?
Where's my life?
He is. He's going to.
He either escapes or he shoots Adam through the heart.
No, he does not do that. He does not do that second thing. Talk about something that's not super effective. He snaps his fingers, and basically every light source within about a 7-block radius shuts off.
Sparky scarf. And all the little light panels on Link's armor.
And you know the contact points on the nanobots and stuff like that. But most of the lights go out.
And the fact that Charlotte moves through shadow.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I'm not saying
the faint necroluminescence that Charlotte has. Lightning bolts that follow.
It was not a
Ares
good plan.
I'm not saying it's the best.
Oh, the light is gone.
I'm not saying it's the best move that could be made in this situation. I will assert that it's probably one of the better moves he can make at this point.
Hey, Joyce?
Yes?
We're all the ones that are lit up, so.
I was about to say, can Adam respond to that?
Yeah, by all means.
So whenever he shuts off all the lights, it's just like dark for a second, and then Adam just holds up his hand with a giant ball of light to light everything back up again. I think that's an unleash your powers.
I mean, it's not even an unleash your powers. You can do that unless you're trying to.
What you're saying? It's not fighting back the darkness.
Well, it is changing the. The obstacle is that it's all dark and everything like that. Yeah, you can absolutely roll freak if you're so inclined. By all means.
Okay.
Do that.
Freak out.
Or she's gonna roll poorly now.
No, he's not. Do you want all? Do you specifically want all of the lights to come back on?
Actually,
little fireflies flying out to the various lights. No.
Yeah, I think that would actually be better. It's just all of a sudden it's just all lights turn off.
He throws up his hand
Adam
and
lights
little sparks fly back
lights
out
on,
of all of them.
Lights off. Lights on.
Does he do the little Dumbledore, flicking light sources back to all the lamps?
No, because that takes a long time and it's stupid.
No, but it's
cool. Really cool.
It's really cool. It's like that, but it happens all at once. So basically, all the lights go out, and you hear he kind of pushes himself to feet. You hear about 3 steps, and then you hear Concord go, no. And the light just goes whoosh, and all the lights basically light back up, but they're all in various shades of these 7 colors that seem to relate to Concord, sort of spread out amongst the area.
So by the way, Link, have you actually mentioned to anybody that Toilet Paper Man claimed to have taken?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yet. I mean,
he will in a moment, but
okay.
Really good time.
I just wanted to make sure I knew where we were.
So. Yeah, I think at this point it's gone from night to daylight.
Yes. quite bright in the area.
Is he there in mid step trying to
Yeah, he's
tiptoe
like
away?
no, he's not. He's running. And honestly, the light comes back on so strongly that he it actually sort of makes him stumble, and he turns and he's sort of like kind of bent over a little bit and kind of like looking a little bit ragged and looking at all of you. It's like, you're all tainted. You're just meat for the beast. You're a scent they're going to follow, like a stain on reality, just a magnet drawing this rusted, rotten filings to you, like some kind of tool left in a shed.
Okay,
Hey,
I go up
Doyce.
and punch him.
I'm surprised that Link hasn't done it
I
already.
gotta.
I was literally about to.
There's a speech bubble. The reader...
Monologuing is always a zero phase action,
But I still punch him.
except for dramatic effect from the other side. But yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
So here,
I moved my headphones and accidentally hit the mute button on the thing.
Good job.
Thing that happens. I mean, it's really a question of who tries to punch him first, but
I said it first.
the speedster wins. I mean,
the speedster who took a good long look around to make sure the armor wasn't like gonna come back.
Hold on a second.
Here's
Joyce, the correct answer for the animated version of the series is everybody at the
Everyone.
same time, and then it cuts to Blink.
Everybody just kind of giving this like almost eye-rolling look, and
Or it's it could be in sequence. I mean, Harry gets to go first, and then everybody else is like a fist, a punch, a blast.
A disdainful look.
A disdainful look as it fades to black. If Harry wants to get it first, I'm not going to make you guys roll because you could certainly have. He's not in a good position to be able to mess with you because he doesn't have his tools handy. So actually, as he's seeing all of you tense up and about to do the most unspeakable thing of
Not in the face! Not in the face!
as
Touching him?
Of coming in physical
Touching
contact with him. Yes. He kind of flinches back and his gloved hand comes up like out toward you like just he goes, I know where your friend is. I can take you. I can let you have her.
Talk fast.
Harry stops mid-punch with the wind
Hold
blowing
off, everybody! We need to hear what he has
away.
to say.
Like
and then punch him.
wind blowing.
I'm not, strictly speaking, your enemy. I am trying to protect this world from that.
I think
and
he's our enemy.
And he kind of points at Ghost Girl. I'm trying to protect this world from that.
He's definitely our enemy.
I don't mean the girl. I don't mean the girl any harm, and she has not come to any harm. She is safe. She is
pissed off.
Other girl.
She has a very disagreeable demeanor. It was very difficult for me to listen to her voice. So she has been left alone. Not that I was going to do anything to her. I needed to isolate her safely away.
You're talking too much. Get to the point.
He gives you an address of a. Well, he gives you an address. You will find her in the second floor, unused office, in a warding circle. It should do you no harm except for that one. And he points again. He has this way of pointing where he's technically, because of the way he uses his hand, he's technically pointing with his index finger, but his thumb and also his pinky are kind of splayed out too. So he's not really pointing, but it's never quite just a point. It's always like splayed fingers pointed in the general direction. It will not do you any harm except for that one. And he points again at Ghost Girl.
What is your problem?
Many things, apparently.
You are coming in contact with the living, and that taint is spreading and calling to you the Howler, and calling to you the shambling, gibbering mouth of pandemonium, and that will come and darken the skies of the city and seep, suck, drain, absorb all life from the city. And
when he gets here, we'll punch him too.
Guys, go ahead and punch him.
Hey, no, wait. Is there anyone there watching over our friend?
She is in no danger from anything but the shambling pandemonium. And
I'm not asking about danger to her. I'm asking about danger to us when we go get her.
Oh,
they're not that smart.
Oh, no. My minions were here. They had been. They are here no longer, but no, my minions are here, or were here. They're not there. She is
okay.
She's restrained, so she stays within the circle for her own protection. No harm has been done to her.
Okay, and
Harry.
I like that. Harry. Are you having him hit him? Are you having him go get the girl or hit him?
No, I'm pointing it. I'm saying have at and pointing it.
I see. Okay.
For the record, I was about to hit him anyways.
He's not even using pandemonium in the right context.
He's using it like it's a proper noun.
Like it's a name.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
name of a creature or an entity versus a city.
Well, it's the land of all demons in Milton's Paradise Lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's using it incorrectly. Link, what do you do? Otto pulls up right about that.
And it, of course, it also comes from the god Pan, who, among other things, is the god of.
Well, pandemonium would be all demons, so.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I'm getting an auto. Anybody who wants to ride over there can come with me. Anybody who can fly or run, great. I'll see you there.
I need a lift. I can't fly.
All right, you got a shotgun. Come on.
Is this?
I need to check my.
No. Are you licensed to drive other?
I have
a self-driving car.
We wouldn't know about that.
I'm technically not the one driving, so who cares? Come on.
Go see if
know,
the
so I can get
flying
there.
disc is working.
Yeah. It's So Harry, do you?
Jason goes running off towards the.
Oh God.
It does.
So Harry, you're left with Ghostheart. Do you knock him cold? What do you do?
I assume.
I thought I already hit him.
Oh well, yeah.
But...
Hey, Harry, I got a trunk.
I was gonna drop him off at prison on my way over, but
that worked out so well for you last time.
I like how he's kind of holding him by the front of the shirt. It's like, what do you want me to do with this? And the only answer is Otto's trunk opens up.
I was gonna say crickets chirping in the background, but
and all of a sudden, kakunk, and the trunk kind of pops and opens up. That's so good. Do you toss him in the trunk, Harry?
Yeah, easier than carrying him.
All right. Ghost Girl, you have the address. You could probably get close with your shadow thing. It might take you a couple.
Do you really want to travel there knowing that there are wards set up against ghostly entities?
Possibly not. possibly no. What do you think, Ghost Girl?
Clear the
I
area.
would like to get there first and have a look around before the boys get there.
Oh
So-
yeah, nothing can ever go wrong with that.
So if I know the general area, I will head towards the general area, and I'm not going to go into the office. I'm going to be around there and seeing what I feel.
Okay, that's no problem. There is some risk because of reasons. I'm going to have you unleash your powers.
Okay.
Because that you are overcoming some obstacles that are in your way in that area.
No?
No, you need to. No, you had it.
No, I know. It didn't come up before, so.
A hit, a very palpable hit. Ghost Girl, Charlotte Palmer rolls freak.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not actually trying to get
you're not
right at the office.
Right up in there, but there's a lot of Ghostheart's been active in this area for a while, so there's a lot of secondary wards and other stuff that's been happening, not necessarily just in the space, like the real space, but also in the shadow world around that area. So with that number, that 9, it's on 7 and 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. You're traveling, you're overcoming these obstacles. I think, well, you can kind of pick. The easy one would be some sort of condition that you pick up as a result of passing through some of the effects, not necessarily wards or anything like that. You're not stumbling into the room and hitting stuff, but there's enough stuff going on in the area that it could certainly shake you. Alternately, there might be it might introduce some instability, not necessarily into your travel, but into well, actually, I could see that too. There's a couple different things, so you can kind of pick. I'll leave this up to you. Do you want to whether or not you take a condition from this, or if the situation becomes unstable in some way, whether your travel does or something of that nature. It's up to
I just realized I already have 2 conditions.
You do. You are heavy with conditions. That's from the lightning.
Right.
So it's it's a little risky. Keeping in mind, I mean, I want to make it clear. There's actually well, okay. I shouldn't say death is off the table because the Doomed is a playbook that's active. So death is not actually off the table. But if you get well, it's
the death of no one important.
It specifically says in the description in the GM's description for the Doomed is like, if somebody picks the Doomed, death is on the table. Like, that's specifically what that playbook does. So I'm just saying it's there. But if your conditions all fill up, bad stuff happens, but it's not necessarily. Doesn't mean
insecure.
Insecure.
How if we take insecure?
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So you, well, I'm not so much like, yeah, you stepped into my trap, as much as like, I just thought of a really cool thing. All right. So, given his dislike of human contact, touching, that kind of stuff, it's surprising that the location that you're given is in a relatively popular, I would say gentrified area, like an area that's sort of been regentrified and or reworked, and there's quite a lot of activity. I don't want to say like lower downtown Denver kind of level of activity, but there's certainly there's a few clubs around, smaller things, people on the streets, and that kind of stuff. So you emerge, you're going through the shadow, and you're seeing echoes in the shadow realm of the living realm, bits, memories, echoes of the people that are passing by you as you're coming out to this area. That's relatively normal. Um, couple of couples, um, a girl in her mid to late teens with like ponytails and like a tank top and stuff like that, who actually almost seems to see you or sense you and that kind of thing. But also in the shadow realm, there's many antagonistic like presences. They're not active. It's almost like, okay, perfect example. This might be going a little bit, maybe you haven't done this, but so I want to say the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, Frodo and Sam are coming up on Minas Morgul, and there's some sentry sort of statues or whatever that have spirits in them, and there's like this sense of real malice and awareness that drills down on them as they come closer, have to pass past these sort of sentry things. And when you're in this shadowy realm, in this area, there's a sort of shadowy plinths, the suggestion of statues, and these not malevolent, but angry spirits within them that are focused down on you and just assaulting you really with their disdain and disgust for the best way. The feeling is what you are, like whatever in between creature that you are is just repellent to them and dangerous, uh, 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 a danger to yourself and others, mostly to others, that kind of thing. And it drives you from shadow back into the living realm faster than you'd anticipated and kind of into a public place. And the unsuspecting effect that this has had on you is that your appearance as you emerge from shadow because of this assault is very close to your appearance at the moment of your scream that you had.
Ew.
And you're emerging into a public place, so you emerge back into life, into this wonderful city with all these living people, and the first people that see you, that half dozen to dozen that see you, shriek and like grab each other's arms and run. Not causing any great alarm or anything like that, but just basically you terrify the people that see you as you're emerging out of there, whatever, the clump of people. There's like a small group of party goers. There's like a maybe a bachelorette party. You for a second you see that
what are we calling this area of town?
I need something. Well, it's more of it's sort of a gentrified, like rebuilt up. I need a good name for it. It's sort of like an old shipping and warehouse thing where the buildings have been rebuilt into like clubs and small businesses, so that it actually stays active during the day as well.
It's just called The Point.
The Point. I love it. So yeah, it's like Capitol Hill almost. So it's a lot of happy, you catch a glimpse of the girl in the tank top and the ponytail. She doesn't seem frightened. She almost seems like she's coming towards you, but then you kind of lose her weirdly. Like she's
okay. So I just put her picture into my World of the Friends. I added her.
The picture of the ponytail girl?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Ghost Girl's friends, not dead yet.
If you can, if you can, yeah, trick will be to find her again. But it's very disheartening, and this is where the insecure is coming from. Is that all these things that have been said about you just recently by this guy, this thing that you're doing, and then seeing the effect and seeing the sheer fear on the face of these people as they see you emerge from the shadows really shakes you and leaves you wondering if what they're saying about you is true. Maybe you are just this like a danger to the city, this wonderful place that you've come. And I mean, you shake it off as much as you can, but it's definitely lurking still there, that thought in the back of your mind as you're making your way towards. You quickly locate where the address is and can pass in with I mean the yeah, I think you can probably. You did succeed in passing through the thing, so you can pass through. You find a gap in the wards and can kind of. It's warded against like apparition, the shadows, that kind of thing, but it doesn't necessarily ward against you just kind of walking through the wall. And the building previously existed, so he wasn't able to like bake goat's blood into the bricks, into the brickwork or anything like into the mortar and the brickwork and stuff like that. So you can get in, and you're able to get into like what looks like. It's out of business. It's been like it looks like it might have once been like a doctor's office or a dentist's office or something like that. It's not in use now. It's been closed up and maybe he's renting it or letting it out or something like that or just squatting. Who knows? You can tell me one thing that you do before Otto and the rest of the crew kind of shows up. Jason, you can get the disc working pretty quickly. There's conveniently it's upside down right now, but there's a reset panel that's actually on the underside for exactly this purpose when it gets like shut down and has to be reset and it's upside down.
Yeah, so, the upside down turtle mode button.
So yeah, easy enough to reset, and you guys could be moving it on too. So Charlotte, what do you do as the boys are sort of arriving and piling out and all that kind of good stuff? Or want to do or find out or examine or whatever. A quick glance around tells you that apparently Ghostheart's been sleeping in the dentist chair when he sleeps.
No, I'm not in the office. I told you I wasn't going in.
Oh, you're not? I thought you. Okay, never mind. If you didn't go, I'm looking through the windows or whatever like that. I wanted to give you at least that much information. What do you do? What do you?
What I'm trying to do is just get a feeling, and I think your description of my traveling here.
Well, you can certainly assess the situation if you want to and find out more, ask more stuff about what he's doing or what he's up to or what's been happening here, any of that kind of stuff.
Not good stuff.
I gave you a bit of a description, but what were you looking for? We'll see if I can give you more.
I was more looking for sort of, that I'm trying to figure out sort of, the unworldly influences. If that makes sense.
Sure.
In anything that I can get to sort of give me a handle on who this guy might be, or not in a sense of like, individually, but like what is this guy? What were his henchmen? What is this?
In other words, his power source?
Yeah. I'm torn between like you do seem to have some sort of focus on him. But the assessing the situation I'm torn between pierce the mask versus assess the situation in this. I think you want to know more about what's going on in the greater sense than necessarily about him. Although piercing his mask might give you a lot of insight into his personal motivations and what's going on there. What do you think? Put in those
Well,
terms.
I got -2 on any of those, so hey.
Yeah. Yeah, you may not be good at reading this necessarily, figuring out what you can from this. So are you more curious about him, or are you more curious about like?
I'm more curious about the greater source. So I
Okay.
guess that's more of an assess.
Okay, yeah, I think it is. I think it is probably an assess. So in that case, you are rolling superior. You're -2 on.
-2.
You're -2 on superior and mundane. Ooh, yikes.
No, I'm -2 on assess. Or guilty is superior.
Oh, because of your
Condition.
conditions. I see what you're saying. Yeah, your conditions are kind of right. Oh dear. Mark XP.
Oh dear.
Mark XP.
I think I'm behind on XP somewhere in there, because I only have 3 checks and I haven't leveled yet, so I may miss something. That's okay. I got some now.
Weird stuff has been.
Hey Margie, I think a while back you
I
did level
leveled.
up, but you didn't select
Oh.
anything.
That's possible? Possibly?
I vaguely remember that from a while back where somebody leveled
No.
up and said, I'm going to add something, or I'm going to add something next time.
I think she was behind a bit because she hadn't been in the one
Well, there was a
session.
game I missed.
Yeah, there was a session you missed, and I think partly is we hadn't really, you hadn't rolled poorly.
That's true.
And that's part of it, and some of the other stuff that generates XP, we haven't quite hit. There's some celebration and comfort, not comfort, but when you celebrate with that kind of thing, we haven't done those.
Okay.
And that's a great way to get the XP at the end of the session. All right. Let me think about this for just a sec. The how do I want to put this? No. What you expose yourself to, sort of coming through this this space in here, has exposed you to a lot of the activities that he's had, sort of going on, like what he's been doing in this, and the powers that he's unleashed here. His power, you sense very strongly, has to do with that veil between the living and the dead. For whatever reason, he thinks of himself as, he seems to be acting as some sort of self-appointed guardian for that. But the means by which he's doing that doesn't have to do with ghosts and spirits. It has to do with, for lack of a better word that you would know, focusing solely on how Charlotte would think of it, is demons. He is reaching into other realms and pulling in not ghosts, but demons.
And he says, I'm the dangerous one?
And he is the things that he had, the thing in the armor, the thing in the straitjacket, but also
toilet paper man?
even the things that were bound on the side of Shadow, and even parts of, you realize now looking at it, even parts of the landscape of the Shadow realm around this area are actually demons that he's bound into shapes and channels, walls, barriers. Looking up at the building with your eyes open to both sides of things, the whole place like almost steams with the energies that he's summoned and bound in various ways to protect himself.
That seems really dangerous.
What's the line from Ghostbusters? Face it, your girlfriend lives at Spook Central.
Spook Central, but not Spook Central because it's a lot of this is residual. It's like a background count. It's like standing in front of like sort of the ectoplasmic equivalent of a charnel house.
You?
Just which so yeah. As much as you might want to go in there,
disturbed.
yeah, and you wouldn't want to really go into the building. It would be like walking into, a slaughterhouse, like the killing floor. There's a singleness of purpose represented by that is just honestly chilling, and it reacts to your presence as a spirit as opposed to a demon. The whole place is, and the living people around, none of them are nearby, are reacting to that. They're all kind of like the mood dampens. People are. It's almost like they like animals going to ground when a tornado is coming or when bad weather is coming. They're all kind of clearing out of the area and drawing back, and it's dark. You really you shouldn't be able to see anything, but the city lights light up the clouds overhead, and this isn't the demon. This isn't the demons that he's bound, but it's a reaction to your spirit, and it seems to almost wake up something above, around, inside, without the city, that you can almost make out, that you can almost see glaring down at you or the people in the streets.
The shivering pandemonium or whatever that you
maybe possibly something like what I just put up there. That sense of that, you could almost make out something like that in the underlit clouds above the city, and then Otto pulls up, and you blink and you lose it. It's not there. It's not in the clouds. It's not something you're seeing.
Okay, well, at least if we're all going to die, the dude is still in the trunk, so he dies with us.
So that was a lot of unhelpful information to creep you out because you did roll a 1, but also that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, it woke something up. Anyway.
You brought a friend back from the shadow world, didn't you, Charlotte?
Hey, this asshole playing with demons.
On the upside, 1 point of XP. Well done. Guys, what do you do?
Can I give it back?
People, and Jason, you can like gliding up and kind of bringing it down at the same time as well. So, what do you do? Charlotte's standing up in front of the building, like apparently waiting for you. Is everybody muted?
No.
Charlotte, what's the sit rep?
Please.
Literally don't even know what that means.
I'm sorry, what?
Leader Jason was the...
Beg your pardon? What?
Jason was the worst idea we've had.
Situation report. You got here first. Did you scout around? What's going on?
Well, you see about that.
Most awkward Voltron episode ever. Anyway. New team leader. Shiro's gone. They gave the Black Lion to Keith. It's a fiasco. Anyway, sorry.
Hey, I'm obviously leader material. I got the disc uprighted and working again.
It had the button that your father installed. That doesn't count.
That's how he always did it.
It had a button that your father
He
installed.
was a leader.
All right.
It was.
Although honestly, I don't know that Harry's got good examples of heroes around his people either. But anyway, carry on. Charlotte, do you respond? Or are you busy? Are you busy being shaken?
No, I will say that it appears that do I sense him in the trunk? Can I tell he's there?
I think
or just he's unconscious.
I think they were I think you were. I think you were still I think they were still piling him in before you left, so you would know that he's in the trunk. So.
So I will say something along the lines of, it appears that our adversary has been dabbling in
forces he can't control.
No, I'm going to be more specific. Demonology and other unsavory things.
I mean, credit where it's due. He does seem to be actually pretty good at controlling them, for what it's worth. It's just there's a lot of it, and it's super creepy.
Yeah, unsavory.
Indeed. Link, what do you do?
Well, I'm getting out of the car and hearing this. Well, okay, so he's consorting with demons, and we punched him real hard, and they went away. So, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh
no,
don't say that.
They're stirred things up. There's the tools he was using is just part of it. He's woven the demons into the building and the area around here, and
only as a warning precaution.
Can I go hit him again?
Get that son of a bitch out of my trunk. Let's talk to him. Come on.
Because the one thing you learn about magic is you don't mess with demons.
And Leo's going to talk to Charlotte for a second. I know that you may not consider yourself an expert on this, but you're the only expert that we have right now. So what do you think needs to be done?
Look, see, there's a leader.
So if demons are actually real, then what's the threat profile here? How do we best approach this?
I have to give Link unconsciously doing this, Bill totally consciously doing it, Harry being the completely unexpected fly in the leadership ointment, and Jason just trying so hard, in the totally the wrong way for this group, but so hard. I love it so much. Harry hauls Ghost out of the trunk. Link is talking to Charlotte. Charlotte's like, what should we do here, Charlotte? Jason's talking about threat profiles.
We're all ignoring Jason.
What's Concord doing in all this?
Not ignoring
Mommy and
Jason.
Daddy are arguing again.
He doesn't have any basis for this since his parents don't argue, so now it's just like, what?
This is unreal.
I would say the first thing that I would like you guys to do would be to, get Power Pony out of there. It can't be very comfortable for her where she is.
All right, I'm on it.
Okay.
So say we all.
He's trying so hard.
He's trying so hard, and kudos.
But it's so bad.
Kudos to Harry for just not having any of it. You haul a cringing. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I'll get out! I'll get out! I'll get out! Ghostheart out of there.
I can either touch you by pulling you out, or I can touch you by punching you again. Which do you want?
I'll climb out. I'll climb out. I'm climbing right. He's not very good at this, but he's climbing. What? Brushes himself off kind of primly. What can I do to help? Or not? What do you want? For the record, I would prefer solitary confinement if I have to be taken to some sort of incarceration.
How old is this guy?
30s probably. I say guy. He's
Felix Faust.
He's strongly androgynous, so I don't want to say guy. He's more of a they, but
okay, this person.
Yes, this person. Late 20s, early 30s, possibly.
And they got beat up by kids. Okay.
Haunted eyes. Well, yes, he totally got. To be fair, he got beat up by kids with like cosmic powers and power armor.
Well, he brought demons to the fore.
He did have demons. That's true. He did have demons. It's 3 on 5. Totally unfair.
Demons.
Something. Stuff. Things. So Link goes in. Charlotte, you're right there. He cringes back, especially from you. I cannot. Please don't taint me. I will answer your questions, but I must remain clean.
I'm so tempted to fly through him just because he's an asshole.
Too.
Now, to be fair, because of the abilities that he seems to natively have, he's not necessarily a wizard. He's got some sort of power. That might not be very fun for you. I mean,
I'm not saying that I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm
just saying that his dickometer is.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Working overtime.
Yeah. But yeah, there would probably be some weird potion miscibility table rolling going on if you guys pass through each other. Not in a good way. Link, real quickly, the security on this place is non-existent. There's a bolt lock on the front door that.
Demons.
Yeah, aside from the demons. He mentioned that she was in an upper floor, and you quickly find her. She's gagged, and she's handcuffed to like a captain's chair, like a wooden captain's chair. But she seems otherwise completely unharmed, other than just being pissed.
I say we let Power Pony at him.
Scared angry, like she's scared, but at the same time she's also like super mad. And you come in, she kind of pulls back in the chair for a second, and then she squints and is like,
hey, your friends have really weird Twitter handles, and I'll set her free.
Oh, that is not. I don't. I told you they were gonna. Yeah, I'm fine. What? Some creepy, strappy, freaking
toilet paper man.
Toilet paper guy like grabbed me and sucked me through hell or something and brought me here, and then this other creepy dentist-looking dude like put me in the chair and said I was. Have you got my phone? I need my phone. Can I have my phone?
I'll hand it over.
Well, rest assured that we have we've taken care of them.
Now is not the time for your failed leadership, Jason.
Oh wow!
Oh, we took care of them. We drove off the creepy toilet paper guy and we got the dentist guy kind of in hand. So we're good.
We have Jason calling him toilet paper guy.
feel so bad.
You know,
I personally, as the GM, am a little bummed because I thought he was super creepy looking, and because of the immediate hot take on the image, he's toilet paper guy. I'm a little bit bummed about that.
Like at first he was sort of intimidated, and I had some theories, but now Link is just jazzed because it's like there's this demon who's going to go down to hell and be like, "You guys, there's this dude with a car. Don't mess with that guy or his friends."
Hey, just remember,
he's
all
complicated.
supervillains get a
revival arc.
No, a stupid nickname at some point or the other.
That is true. That always happens.
They are cowardly and superstitious lots.
Or to put it a really simple way, Combustion Man was really scary, but he's still Combustion Man.
He's still Combustion Man. Yeah.
Sparky Boom Man.
Sparky Boom Man. Yeah. Combustion Man is actually the cool nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a Amber game that I was never in, but somebody told me about, and the guy, one of the guys, had a history of coming up with names that everybody made some joke about, and he was very, very happy, and he did the wrong thing. He said to the group, "I have come up with a name that nobody could possibly make fun of."
Oh!
He prefaced it by saying that, and one of the guys said, "Huh, really? That's pretty cool. What's the name?" And the guy says, "Demetrius." And there's literally a 1-second beat, and somebody across the table says, "Dead Demetrius." And that's what they referred to him as for the entire campaign.
Nice.
Dead Demetrius. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you're right. And I think it's actually probably it's the goofier name depending on how badass the actual name was. So I made the mistake of picking Rawhide, which I thought was pretty creepy, and then yeah. I get Toilet Paper Man. Wah, wah.
You gave us Toilet Paper Man.
I didn't give you Toilet Paper Man. Somebody said that. I didn't say that.
No, you were the one.
You served up Toilet Paper Man on on a porcelain platter.
Yes.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay.
He's on a roll.
You have.
Oh, David.
I'm oh, it's not good. Dave and Margie will appreciate this. Being able to pace around the room means I actually get to have my thinking stick as I walk around now. I do a lot of GMing that, like, when I'll pace around, I always have like a little stick I can kind of just fiddle with. And I had this as such a habit that I didn't really think about it. The first time I ever went over, like the day I met Dave and Margie, I brought along this little kind of kids Louisville Slugger bat that I always had around that I use. I just had it with me because for me, that was part of my GMing kit. And we were going to make up characters, and I was going to meet these friends of my friend, and we were going to do this. So what Dave sees is this.
So Doyce pulls up in a truck. He got this crew cut. He's got these sunglasses, and he's carrying a bat,
a baseball bat.
And it's like
I get out of the pickup and like I kind of chin nod to Dave and then grab a baseball bat. That was my first impression. So good.
Okay, it's neo-Nazi South Dakotan GM guy. You know, skinhead.
I didn't.
What did Randy get us into here?
I didn't live up to the hype, thankfully. But
Yeah, but you did manage to get pulled over by the police.
Not for that. But
no.
I did manage to get
but
pulled over. Yeah,
in the whole skinhead time.
Yeah, that was fun. Rolling. Here's the danger rolling. That's a 15 showing. Rawhide. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. That's a 15 showing. Rawhide. All right. We have you. So you get Power Pony back out of there. She comes down, and she kind of looks at Ghostheart, and Ghostheart kind of looks at her, and she says, "You're not going to be safe." And he starts to say something like, "You're not going to be safe out here, not protected." And she kind of like fake like lunges at him, and he shrieks a little bit.
Jitters away.
He just don't touch me!
Hey, just show of hands. Anyone has not punched this guy yet? That's incorrect.
I haven't. I'm
Please.
to punch.
I think there might be yeah.
I'm gonna punch him again soon.
We will.
We should take him to the authorities.
Because
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Good call.
Jason doesn't sound enthusiastic about that, but he's really trying.
But Dickless are taking him to the authorities.
Take him to the authorities. Okay. Since it is 10:30 and we can kind of wrap this in summation, I think.
Can I punch him again?
You can, if you seem, Harry seems as though he's really in a punchy, argumentative mood, and I want to delve into that next session.
What?
You can't punch an intangible piece of armor, so he needs to get his punches in somewhere.
We'll find out later that he's actually been possessed this whole time by the armor, and that's why he's been
Getting his thing back.
So mean. So good though. All right.
The armor figures the only way to cover its presence is to kill Ghostheart, so that's why Harry wants to punch him.
End of session. Okay. At the end of every session, choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, grow away from the team. I believe I will start with Ghost Girl.
I was afraid you'd say that.
I can pick somebody else. You can think about it.
No, I'm kind of torn because on one hand, I feel like I've grown closer to the team because they all came when I said that there was trouble here.
They all came rushing to your defense. Sure.
I really appreciate that. On the other hand, I kind of feel like I might be putting them in danger. So I'll say closer to the team.
Okay. Who in that case do you want to give influence to? Give influence to that character and clear a condition or mark potential. You might want to look at the conditions that you can clear and decide who would get influence based on the condition that you clear. That would be a kind of a fun little connection. Who makes you feel less, whatever, insecure or whatever, afraid, angry?
I am going to actually give to Link. I don't know if he already has it.
I do.
And I'm going to take away angry. I'm still feeling guilty and insecure, but I'm not the one that's trying to punch the guy that's already defeated.
That's actually
That's
Harry.
only because you're intangible.
Want me to punch you, Harry?
No.
Want to see how intangible this fist is, Harry?
I like that. Okay, that's great. So Link already has influence, so Link, you can. Oh, that reminds me. We posted last time what everybody shifted their labels and stuff like that. Did people do that, or did we actually do that? I didn't know one way or the other if that had actually happened in the character sheets. Okay.
I did.
Okay, cool.
I believe I did.
Okay. So Link, you can shift labels since you already have influence over Ghost Girl, and I will. Oh, this should be interesting. Mercury. Grow closer to the team. Grow into your image. Go into your own image of yourself, which in this case would be superimposed with Ghost Girls, or grow away from the team.
I would say grow away from the team.
Explain why you feel detached.
That's what I was going to get into. Because with how Jason felt he needed to run the team.
And it just rubbed you the wrong way?
Yeah.
Okay. When you grow away from the team, take influence over you away from another character.
Yeah, Harry. I had influence over Harry.
So yeah, if you had
one of the few people.
One of the obvious people. The obvious person would be Jason, assuming that he had influence over you, and if he did, then yeah, I think that would be the obvious one, certainly. Jason's got some bridge building to get on.
Jason needs to have some heart-to-heart conversations with people.
He needs to comfort
Either
himself.
that or just feed Mercury more pizza. He'll come around.
Yeah,
I resent the fact that you think I can be bought with food.
So I should be like tossing pizza to Harry like it was fish to a sea lion in an aquatic show.
Positive reinforcement.
I love it. I love it. Concord. Mike, I want to apologize. I don't feel as though Concord got a lot to do this time. I will fix that next time. I don't know if you'll be happy about that, but I will absolutely fix it next time.
It'll be nice.
Much more involved in the action and danger next time, Concord.
Thanks.
And maybe you too, dear.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he was saying things. Concord ended up getting bounced around a lot, so next time I'll have to fiddle with him. Sorry about that. It always seems like somebody's getting the short end of the stick, of the attention stick. So I apologize. But
spotlight shifting is hard.
Spotlight shifting is hard. It is true. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team.
I feel as though there was an implied scene there when after Concord got in shotgun in the car with Link.
I wish we had had time to do that.
Link probably said a couple of nice words to him, and they probably listened to like some cool song on the way over to the house. And it was just one of those nice little bonding moments in the show.
Link didn't even hear. Like he wasn't even like tracking that, but it was nice for so grow closer to the team, give influence to Link, which Link I think already has, and
influence over everybody. Yeah.
Link can just move people's labels at will, like
woohoo!
Provokes.
Maybe he should have been the leader.
And because
oh my God, so hard.
You're salty, girl.
Very.
Some supers throw energy blasts. Harry's throws shade. It's just how it
works. And I believe that Concord's going to clear Afraid since it opposes directly engage, and I feel like that is the sort of pep talk Link would give Concord.
Yeah, and Mike, as an option, if you want to do that on the forums, I'm happy to jump in too. It's up to you.
That sounds good.
I'd love to see that scene in the car. It's not even very long, but it's enough.
Deleted scenes.
Deleted scenes. Love the deleted scenes. It's great stuff. Is that Link? I'm saving Jason for last.
I think close to the team, I'm going to say Ghost Girl because I think this is like her area, and I feel that right now we should be listening to what she says, and I'm sort of putting my trust in her.
And since you are listening to, yeah, sure, that's great. Ghost Girl, do you already have influence over Link?
I do not. Well, he's actually the only one I don't. So
you get influence over him. Jason's taking a hard hit here with the influence. I will say this: there are a lot of episodes where Aqualad doesn't have influence in Young Justice, so it's just. And I'll also say this: I mean, not to say. Robin was the leader for a couple episodes too. That didn't go so hot. So.
I was thinking more of like the Teen Titans Go, where there's any number of episodes where Robin doesn't have any influence.
Yeah. And honestly, they do this a lot.
You have to get us. You have to all band behind me to get after Slade. Yeah. You've heard that before.
Yeah. No, but
we need to go. You all need to band behind me to help me catch Alicia.
God, yeah, that's a weird parallel. There's a there's a funny thing about the guy who wrote the game did the actual play with the guys who are really big into Young Justice and ran everybody. Robin is technically the leader, and he's got influence. He's fine. But the thing is, in every single one of their conflicts, they stop for a second and say, okay, who's leading in this situation? And it is literally never Robin. Like Robin is never the one who at that moment has like sort of the emotional like weight of the team behind him. It's Connor, it's Aqualad, it's whoever. But Robin is he's there and he's sort of advising everybody and stuff, but he's never. I don't technically I guess Aqualad's the one in charge, but it's never actually the leaders that are leading in any of those in the actual fights or anything like that.
He's the CEO, but not the ops manager.
Yeah, yeah. This was right. They the way they did this was like a year before second season starts. So Robin's about to take over and become Nightwing, kind of a deal. Anyway, so I was just saying it slides around. Okay, that's Concord. Clears a condition. Gives the thing to Leo. Leo can fiddle with his. Sorry, Leo gives it to Ghost Girl. Ghost Girl didn't have it. And Jason, who again, sorry, Doom Track.
Yeah, Doom Track definitely ticks forward.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I am feeling closer to the team because I
Not because
Really?
of me.
I was the leader and I gave instructions and Link followed what I said, and I guess that's what I meant for. So it's not really into my self-image, but I feel like I guess they're trusting me, so I'll move forward with this.
Oh, whatever
so
helps
Link-
you sleep at night.
Link, you get influence over me.
Which I think
Yep, I already do.
So you can move his labels, and you, Jason, can clear a condition or mark potential.
I'm going to mark potential, and I'm going to mark Doom Track, so I get to do I get to do both an advance and a Doom. Woo!
Oh, yay! Super fun. I look forward to figuring out what the Doom move is that you're gonna pick up.
Yeah, I look forward to it as well.
How many of those do you get before you inevitably die? 5?
A total of 5, and I already had 1.
So you have 2 now.
I have 2.
The clock she is a ticking. Raven's in charge of the Teen Titans. That'll go well. All right.
Yeah, she just goes in her room and reads books.
So we've had a couple
or
of
meditates.
episodes. We've had a couple of episodes where the Doom Track has had to move because there just wasn't any time, and Concord's need some time. So I'm making a few notes. Some people need a little bit more spotlight.
Out of character, I have a way for that not to hit Jason so hard, but we can talk about that later.
Oh, for the Doom Track not to hit him so hard, or for the?
Yeah, I just to keep his nemesis in the spotlight more, but like we can talk about that.
Well, yeah,
I mean, he can angst about it.
He has to make progress towards hunting down his nemesis. Is the deal?
Yeah, he can.
This would do that.
I mean, that's what Harry did. Like a majority of the books.
The what do I want to say? There are quite a few breadcrumbs for Jason to pursue that would count toward it. It's just he hasn't exactly had time to do it.
Yeah.
It's what I hate to keep making the comparison, but it's a very Amber problem. A number of sessions was like, oh, a couple people didn't show up. It's just 2 players. And one of the players would literally pull out a notepad with like 35 bullet list items of stuff he's been meaning to get to. It's like, thank God some people aren't here. I've got shit to do. And
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, this episode was, started in media res and kind of ended with the end of the conflict. So there wasn't a moment, except for like whether flying towards where Ghost Girl is, where Jason could have done any research or efforts to pursue.
Which is true.
That's fine.
The flip side of it is we're sort of analyzing in terms of like the potential, like at the end, and potentially picking up potential at the end with the end of session moves and stuff like that a lot more often. So I think of it as a balancing act. Hopefully it doesn't end up screwing the Doomed too much.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to avoid, is that he's the only character whose character could be taken away from him because of outside events. Because of the simple framing of the game and stuff like that. Although I will say this, we started in media res with sort of the beginning of the fight and got through the goddamn thing in 1 session as opposed to 3. So
we did
pat ourselves on the back, because there were more bad guys in this than the other fight, and it took us 1 session and not 3. So boom. All right, it's a little late. Thank you guys very much. I will point out a few other things, since I'll mention it right now, since I can't jinx it anymore. we didn't have a cutout the entire night.
Well, to be fair,
except for me accidentally muting my headset.
We only have 2 people here in Consortium.
That's true.
Versus 3.
But we didn't have that last week with you guys cutting out. I had some problems with my mic cutting out, but now with the new headset, that didn't happen. So,
I think the new headset is a win.
Yeah, I'm my ears are not like they're sweaty and compressed, but other than that.
And I don't know how my present sound quality is. The battery on my headphones, which I brought with me, died about 3/4 of the way through the episode. So now I'm actually on the mic and speakers.
The difference is clear. The difference is very clear, but we can still hear you.
Yeah. Okay. We could hear when you went to the speakerphone because you sound like you're on a speakerphone.
But you're still perfectly legible. So anyway, thank you guys. Great session. Very excited to see what comes next. We haven't exactly resolved in any way, shape, or form Ghost Girl's kind of like what the hell is going on arc. But we have certainly taken a big hunk out of it. So, yay! Now we just have to figure out.
You've just made her feel even more guilty. As like, what if this dude is right?
What if this dude is right? The pull. One might almost say the hook pulling you between mundane, and freak.
Playing that transformed.
That'll be
sub-riff off of the Outsider.
That's the playbook that she can transfer to if she becomes truly monstrous. Okay. All right. I will stop this. Thank you guys so much.
No. At this rate, I'm like